Hey guys, episode 29 of the O.P.O.V podcast. We have a special guest today, Kenya.
Hello.
What's up?
Hi. Not much.
We're really excited to have you here.
Okay. I'm
And
excited to be here.
so I know that there were there's a specific topic that we want to talk about today.
Okay.
But do you guys have anything you want to say before we?
No, I'm happy that we have a guest today, someone who's well diverse in many topics.
Mm-hmm.
I respect her opinion, so this should be nice and good podcast.
And I agree with that. And I love the fact
I
that...
agree with that. You agree that you're well diverse?
I love a debatable conversation. And I feel like that's what you guys bring. Because I've been trying to get here for a few months now, or you know what I mean? But I feel like the topics that you guys talk about are very good conversations and very good topics, and you can have a debatable conversation.
No, I did fail you this week. I wasn't able to watch the 30 for 30.
Okay.
So,
Me either.
Okay. We could maybe come back to that.
Yeah, we could do that because I did watch that, and she said that we probably can have a conversation about Snowfall because you watch Snowfall. So
Snowfall.
I've been watching since the very first.
Me too. So
You know
we
what I
could
mean?
actually
So
have
we
an
could-
in-depth conversation.
Yeah, yes, I
Okay,
agree
that's
with
cool.
that. Yes.
That's cool. It really made me happy when she said that you recommended we watch the 30 for 30. I was
Yes.
like, okay, so
Yes.
at least we're on the same page.
Yes.
Because I've definitely been meaning to get to that.
Yes, I feel like that's a must, especially with the things that's going on in the football. You know, Dennis Rodman, basketball, whole different, thing,
Sport.
but still it's sports, still
Antics,
you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
same thing. So yeah.
And even since I was a young girl, I thought he was always an interesting person.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah, so I really wanted to see it, but I'm going to get to it. But I know that we wanted to start off today with continuing the conversation around Antonio Brown, because last week there were some developments that happened after we finished up our podcast. He actually was picked up by the Patriots, and then there were accusations of rape that came out from one of his former trainers. But before we get to the new developments, I know that there was something that Kenya commented on that I felt like you guys needed to discuss. And I need to kind of like maybe preface this by saying, when it came to Antonio Brown and you saying that his behavior might be stemming from the CTE, I knew you was kind of like jumping out the window with that comment, but I was just let you rat out. So
Why you say I'm jumping out the window with the CTE comment?
Because that's something that's you can't really diagnose that until after a person is dead.
That's exactly. So how is that jumping out the window? That I feel like a lot of football players might have a little symptoms of it. You don't mean you're full blown, but it's probably a lot of people that get concussions. A lot of them probably have some type of form of CTE, even if it's like a mild-like form of it. I'm not going to say what he did and what he's doing might not be affected by that, but I look at his actions and the way he's going about it, as far as trying to punch the GM in the mouth and doing all that. I don't know. I mean, now as far as calling him a devil and a cracker, I can see a regular person doing that, but then going to practice the next day talking about you gonna punch him in the mouth and they gotta break it up. And even with him tossing furniture off the balcony, like doing stuff like that, I feel like that type of aggression might be some type of form of CTE.
Okay. I can say that.
But as far as like him, everything that like what we were talking about in the YouTube comments, as far as like him demanding his money and them doing a little slick shit behind his back, like saying apologizing, then him finding a fan in his mailbox, like stuff like that. I could understand him getting mad and calling him a devil, cracker, all that, because that's normal stuff that happens at the job.
Yeah, and that can be looked at as antagonistic.
Yeah,
Right.
so I can understand that, but the way your reactions to that is like, to me, that aggression is
It's
too
aggressive.
much. Yeah. And that was just me. And then, again, like she said, I'm probably reaching on it, and we won't know until somebody.
You're not the only one. I see a lot of people, and a lot of people say it. Like, a lot of people just throw it out there. Like, I had, someone say it under, one of my posts that that I made. Like, she was like, I could bet, that's what he's suffering from. I'm like, I wouldn't bet that.
You wouldn't put your money on
like,
it.
I wouldn't bet that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because, and like I said, like, just because we don't agree with
his tactics
and how he's going about doing things doesn't necessarily mean that something is medically wrong with him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, because you're right. You don't know how somebody will react when they're disrespected.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody do act different. Even the regular person that never got a concussion might mess around and work at McDonald's. If his manager disrespect him, flip everything over. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's said that the trauma that football players endure each week is equivalent to them being in a car crash each week. So I guess it wouldn't be far-fetched for him to be suffering from some form of CTE, but there's no way of us definitively.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you know, like, if you watch the show on Netflix, it's called, like, Last Chance U. It's about, like, kids that go to junior college or whatever.
Yes.
But a lot of it, that right there, like, when you watch stuff like that, like a documentary, a lot of times the one player, I remember he said he had 3 concussions in the game, but he kept playing because he didn't want to sit out the next game. And a lot of times the trainers are lenient if the person say they're good. I'm good. I could go back in.
Right.
So, I mean, a lot of times when it comes to money and stuff like that, a lot of these players might have CTE before they even get into the NFL. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Pop Warner, high school, college, all that, like that all contributes. Like, I might have a form of it. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, there's so many concussions I had but back then it wasn't exactly until they got that $1 billion lawsuit.
Yes.
Now they started to treat it serious. So when they start doing the surgeries and stuff on their brains after they die, I think it's going to be a lot more than we think.
Right.
You know.
So, my son plays football. He's been playing ever since he was 5 years old. And the very first day of football camp, 2 hours in, phone call, had to come pick him up. Concussion scare, like, he failed the protocol concussion test that, the trainers do right then and there. So we had to go pick him up or whatever. And he could have been seen that day, but we couldn't make that appointment. So he went the very next morning and he had to sit out for a week. So I understand that. And I appreciated that they took it that serious.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because a lot of coaches might value winning over the health.
Yes. They took it serious. There was immediate action. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had to watch him. And
now, how was he feeling? Was he like having headaches and stuff?
Well, I just took it to that he got his bell rung. That was the first time that he just, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's how we are too.
He got hit and it was like, wait, like he woke now. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like, like, okay, he got hit and but he did say he was dizzy. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what we've always taught him since day one. Like, if you hurt. Like, we need to know. Like, you got to be serious. Don't be one of them kids that's, oh, I'm hurt because the play didn't go your way, or like, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of that too. And then it takes, it makes it hard for people to believe.
It's like boy who cry wolf.
That's what his dad always say. Don't cry wolf. Like if you hurt, you hurt. If you're not, you get out there because it is football. So we get that, but. I just took it as he got his bell rung. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've worked on a trauma floor for years, and we've had kids that be admitted for a week because they have true signs of concussions. They are not able to return back to the little league, to the high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not able to return back for the season because
they keep those headaches and stuff.
Headaches, spitting up, dizziness. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it is. By all means, a serious, you know what I'm saying, serious thing, but I don't think, and I could be biased because I am a true Antonio Brown fan, about those accusations, CTE, but we don't know.
Now, how you feel about the other accusation?
Which accusation?
The latest one.
The rape allegations and the sexual assault allegations. Here's my take on that. I just, as a female, I just feel like we have to take accountability for our actions at some point as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Going around these famous people, or even not even just famous people, these other individuals. Like, you know what I'm saying? At some point, we have to take accountability to what may happen, what may, you know what I'm saying, what occur, what atmosphere we're putting ourselves into, you know what I'm saying? So there's a whole realm that goes about that. But as a female also, if I want to be taken seriously when something like that do occur, I need to know that I need to take these steps to make sure it's documented, to make sure that somebody knows, so it can be believable, so I can have those receipts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Brittany Taylor, her, saying these things at this time makes it hard for her to believe.
But I would
Hold on.
wait.
Real quick. So for those who don't know, this is his former trainer, Brittany Taylor, filed a civil suit against him in Florida this week, claiming he sexually assaulted her 3 times over 2 years, allegedly raping her in 2018. I'm sorry, go ahead.
All right, so what I was going to say is, for that whole incident, I don't even think it was more so like, she wasn't, I think somebody coerced her to come out and say it. So I'm not saying that she's not telling the truth. I think it might be true, but I don't think it was like rape. I think it was more so like they was 2 people that, when you mess with somebody, sometimes one person could do something that like they could have been having sex a lot, and there could have been times where she said she ain't feel like it, but guess what? He still wanted to have sex, because sometimes that happened, but that's still rape culture. And I think the person who coerced her, it was just so happened that Antonio Brown's all in the news this week, and she's probably like, I hate him, and the person who was around her was like, why you hate him? Because of this, that, and he probably was like, you need to tell somebody.
Right. And I think another thing that we were talking about earlier in regards to rape is, I think when it comes to rape, sometimes people have this
bad guy with the mask on
in their head, like that you're gonna get somebody's gonna break into your house with a mask on, or they're gonna ambush you when you're walking down a dark alley
with a knife in your
right
head.
And sometimes it does happen even with people who you might be well acquainted with, or even in a relationship with. And sometimes, I mean,
you'll hear dudes say it though. You'll hear dudes say, like if they messing with a girl, man, I don't care if I go over there tonight, man.
I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Right. And if you are in somewhat of a relationship or a situationship with somebody, even if you didn't want to do it and they end up forcibly having sex with you, sometimes you might walk away from that situation like, well, was that rape? And you're kind of like having conflict within yourself as to what happened. You know what I mean?
She just had that little friend that pushed her over the edge. But see, and then the incidents that they're talking about, I don't know. The one that I didn't read the text messages, but they said that there's a text message talking about when he ejaculated on her back and she was asleep. And her thing of the situation was they was watching a religious show on the tablet and she fell asleep. Next thing you know,
I don't believe that. Because first of all, if you're a trainer,
I don't mean to laugh, but he's
why are you
nuts
at his
for
house
that.
Sleep? First of all,
because no, they was.
I know, but I'm just saying she put this out like they made it perceive like she was only his trainer at first, like
his
personal trainer or whatever. But I'm just saying, like on that aspect, like if you're his trainer, like why are you at his house sleep? Like first of all.
And also, I think one thing that I didn't really realize when the story initially came out is that they have a pretty long history. Like they knew each other in college, and like he kind of like
a history.
Yeah, it was messing around. But she probably had a boyfriend, and he probably had somebody.
He does.
And then it's just a messing around. That's how it is.
Feelings get involved, and if you don't act the way I feel like you should act, or maybe you didn't pay attention on Tuesday.
But I can guarantee you, in that syllabus during training, I can guarantee you, it tells them that they're not supposed to be messing with the athletes. I can guarantee you that.
Absolutely.
And this is the reason why.
Absolutely.
Things like this.
And then to, because people can't wrap their mind around the fact that she just went straight to, the civil. There was no criminal charges. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that automatically tells, people like us, like, what is it about? It has to be. It's about the money.
And then look, she sat there and said, I'm not meeting with the NFL right now. I'm gonna go get married and then come back.
So you're not taking it serious. So why should we?
Because she want him to pay her to keep quiet. That's what all this is.
And then if he allegedly raped her in 2018, wouldn't it still be within the statute of limitations for her to file a criminal charge against him?
I think so.
Or for criminal charges
Would
to
you
be?
have like a year? I don't know what the.
I think it's way longer than a year. Don't it?
Well, you probably because
that would be kind of messed up if that would get you.
Because of what allegedly happened in the 70s, right?
Yeah, there's so many loopholes. If they want to get you, they can
they're gonna get you.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
It's just the sad thing about this is,
they're going to get you.
I think whoever it is, what's that lady's name that be doing all that with the women? That be having them standing up at the podium?
Who, the lawyer?
Lisa, or whatever, yeah.
The white lady.
Yeah, what's her name?
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know her name.
You know what I'm talking about, Jessica?
Who, Lisa Bloom?
Yeah. That's her name, Lisa Bloom. So don't let Lisa Bloom get a hold of her because they're going to try to get
I mean, I just think that as a female, and if it was about the bag, she could have went at it at a different rate. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, they was at first because that's why they say he ain't tell the Patriots and the Raiders because the two lawyers had an agreement to keep it under wraps. So I don't know why it came out. Right now, like I don't know why.
Because all of that controversy that was going on around, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody probably paid her money too.
Well, this thing that I pulled out right here says the statute of limitations in Pennsylvania for sexual assault or rape is 12 years.
Oh.
But that's still. How did they get Bill Cosby, or did they have a new one?
Because that was the Andrea Constand. Her case was literally the only one still within the statute of limitations that they could prosecute for. So that's why,
so
I
he was
feel like
still
they
drugging women.
Everybody. He took the fall for everybody.
Yeah, because there's no reason why he shouldn't be on the house monitor at home right now, living out his last couple of years.
And at some point, like even when Tupac was accused, remember when Tupac was accused or whatever? So like I get a call from Tupac, the biggest rapper or whatever, like come to my room. I don't know what I'm hitting for. Come on now, like you know what I'm saying? Like
no, but it wasn't. The thing about the Tupac thing was it wasn't him. It's the people that was with him.
Okay, but still and yet, I get a call to go to this hotel room.
I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have been mad if she just would have had sex with Tupac though. But you know, back then, boys was running trains and doing all that weird stuff.
Yes.
And
but she went immediately, right?
Yeah.
She didn't wait no year.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she went immediately. She got her rape kit or whatever she filed from. Like she did things where like that did happen to her. Like you know what I'm saying? Versus
right here, yeah.
You know that happened in 2017. I remember he did this and then but the last straw was he forcibly raped me. Like
it kind of reminded me of like the Aziz story almost. You remember that Aziz story about how she was saying how she ain't want to do it, but he's like,
right.
And I thought she wanted to do it.
That could be looked at as somewhat of an abuse of the Me Too movement because you can't constitute a bad date and charge it to somebody raping you or sexually assaulting you.
Yeah, because we would have to get the phone tells everything. They would have to literally go to both phones from Antonio Brown and his Britney girl and really literally see what happened for the trigger cut. It might have been all good even after he skeeted on her back. You know what I mean? But he might have said something like, "Look, I can't mess
if this
with
is
you
somebody who you was messing with, you might be like, like why would you do that?"
Yeah, exactly.
I interpret it as I had a good time while you was asleep.
Yeah, like they was too comfortable around each other. You know what I'm saying?
Like I look what you missed. Like that's how I interpret. I interpreted the
I mean, again, that's two people being comfortable with each other. But then at the end of the day, if you that girl and you telling your gay friend or your dude friend that, he's gonna be like, what?
Right.
He did that?
Right.
You were asleep?
Right. Oh my God, something is wrong with him. Like you need to do this.
And then all of a sudden there's some shame there.
Yes.
Antonio Brown sells for $30 million. Is that the same guy?
Yes. Honey. So yeah.
You do know that was rape.
Right.
And then I'm not even on but this is a good topic though. You can never get too comfortable around somebody. Like don't get too comfortable in the situation because technically it really is considered rape.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It is, but also another thing the thing that bothers me about the whole Me Too culture and the whole quick to say somebody's victim blaming, I feel like as a woman, there is some response as a person. I don't even want to say as a woman, as a person, there is a certain responsibility that you have to yourself to keep yourself safe in certain situations.
That's
Now,
what you was talking about.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
But that's just like saying the person got robbed for walking down a dark alleyway. Why did you walk down a dark alleyway? You can't blame them for that. Like the person still shouldn't have robbed you. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, he still shouldn't have did it. But I need to see these text messages of what happened after.
yeah,
that.
but I think if you're talking about a dark alleyway, you know, the alleyway is dark, right? And what did your mom tell you? Don't be walking around down the dark alleyways at night. You know what I mean? There's certain things that, you know,
But
you could do,
if you're
like,
comfortable.
you walk on a well-lit street in order, even if it takes
But
you
if
a little
you're
bit longer to get home.
But if you're comfortable with that street, you're going to walk down it no matter if it's dark or not. Because, and she
I
was
know
comfortable
this area.
with that street, y'all.
Like I'm from around here. I hang
Yeah.
out here, so I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's plenty of alleyways that I might walk down if I'm familiar with. It's dark, but that still don't mean I won't get robbed.
I just
Right.
think that at this date and year of all the things that we've seen, the Me Too movement, all of those things, if that was her goal, is to get money, she could have went about it
A
different way and still had documentation. If she went and got a rape kit done, if she did file the criminal charges, or just like some type of receipts for us to make it believable, because you can, you know, press criminal charges and then sue the fuck out of them. At the end, you still gonna get a bag, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna believe you now because you got receipts. Like, you know what I'm saying? The receipts you have are not believable. Like it looks like you had a personal relationship other than a personal
and if
relationship.
they was messing around, that would be the reason why she wouldn't have receipts. Because if this is somebody who you know you are messing around with, and like I was saying earlier, if you're struggling with, since we are in a situationship or whatever the case might be, and all of this is speculation, I don't know what the relationship was, but if that was the case, you could be at conflict with it for a long time. Like,
well, I can tell you,
I know I didn't like that. I know I ain't like him doing that in that way, or I ain't like him doing that to me. But was that rape? Like, you know what I mean? I feel like,
well, to me, what's telling the truth of the whole matter is what the Patriots is doing about letting him play on tomorrow
against the Dolphins.
Honey, because I can't wait to see it.
If Antonio, I know they had this meeting after everything came out. So if Antonio Brown is telling them the truth, I think that everything should probably just work out for him, because they would have definitely put him on some type of waiting to see if once he talks to
That
the
exempt list that they was talking about,
Yeah,
putting
because-
them on until
Well,
it
because
plays
that's what
out.
they did with my boy Kareem Hunt for the Chiefs. Like, the Chiefs suspended him first until the NFL got involved, and then once they seen everything, and then they released him.
So I have a
But I
question.
feel like her not even wanting to come in for the interview, like they ready to do this, like like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on?
The way
For
they
me
was,
to say wait.
yeah, the way they was talking about the Patriots sat him down and was like, "Look, do you have anything in those text messages or anything that's going to incriminate you?" And the answer must have been no, because he's still playing on Sunday.
Can't wait to see.
Now I have a question for you guys. What do you think is what are the Patriots really gonna? What would they have to gain from taking such a risk on Antonio Brown, given his track record of his behavior?
Security.
Because we know that the Patriots win.
No, but
and they've been winning without him.
No, but it's security. It's security. It's almost like the Golden State Warriors when they got Kevin Durant. They might win it without him, but
it's going to be a hell of a win with them.
Yes,
like,
it might be a little easier.
Yeah, it's like an insurance policy, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
So I do think Antonio Brown does take them over that. Even though I don't like the Patriots, but he takes them over that notch to where they're almost like the Warriors. Like, it's going to be hard to beat them.
Right.
Okay.
And you know, the Patriots, like, we can't say that they was always straight with their winnings because they had that whole, you know, the debacle or whatever. But I think that anywhere Antonio Brown would have been an asset to him.
Oh,
like, you know,
he's the best receiver in the game.
Right.
And I feel like there are a lot of bitter Stiller fans.
Oh yeah,
because he is gone because they know what we lost. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know what we lost. Like, you know, and I really despise when people, you know what I'm saying, don't blame Ben. Like, I like that gets under my skin. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Blame him for what?
Blame him for anything.
Oh, you talking about just
like
giving
just like like just giving them excuses or whatever because they are always hear, you know, he's a Hall of Fat quarterback, blah blah blah. So if he was that. And I'm a Steeler fan. So, but if he was that, and we got this, wide receiver, we got Juju, we got Le'Veon Bell, you know what I'm saying? Why was we at home during the playoff? Like, why didn't we make it to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, he broke all that up, but it was just a whole bunch of factors. Ben broke up the triple Bs because Kevin Colbert, the GM, put him on a pedestal.
Exactly.
He put him on a pedestal, so he wasn't held accountable.
And I feel like AB wanted to speak out about that, and he couldn't. Like,
but
you know what I'm saying?
Now look, AB though too, and that might be another form for CT because he was a brat. So when Juju got the MVP, they said the next day in practice, no, the same day in practice, what he was doing was when they were studying the ball, he was just smacking it down instead of catching it. So they sent him home.
Right,
and that's why he thought he didn't have to come in until Saturday. And then that's why they was like, no, you can't play at the game because you didn't come to practice.
Right.
But he said he thought y'all sent me home.
Right.
But yeah, he's a brat. Why would you do that at practice?
Well, I have another question now. When it comes to it comes to the whole Antonio Brown saga, what do you guys think of everybody after him getting picked up by the Patriots? Well, not everybody. A whole lot of people saying that this was a whole grand scheme in order for him to ultimately end up with the Patriots.
If it was, kudos to him.
I think so. I think so because he might have the smartest agent in the game. Bill Belichick is the smartest coach in the game. And I'm pretty sure Antonio Brown might be one of the smartest football players when it comes to money. So what happened was he told them that he did not want to go to the Raiders. And guess what they did? Shipped him to the Raiders. Because if you could have got a first-round draft pick from the Patriots, why wouldn't you draft him? And why wouldn't you trade him to the Patriots? Then you got a 3 and a 5.
As a hater.
Yeah, so they shipped him to basically Alcatraz. But guess what? His agent got players on the Patriots too. So I'm pretty sure they made that. Like, we gonna see what we can do to get out of this deal. Yeah.
And I didn't even look at it like that at first. But if that's what happened.
But honestly, and they said that Antonio Brown started to be all on board with the Raiders. Even his agent said he was on board with the Raiders until
like I'm here, we'll make the best of it.
So do you watch Hard Knocks?
No, I wasn't watching it. I watched like the first episode.
Okay, so Hard Knocks this season was
the Raiders.
Yeah. So like go back and watch that because I feel like the GM was saying slick shit from the very beginning.
Because that was,
you know what I'm saying?
Because he didn't even want Antonio Brown. Mike Mayock didn't want him. John Gruden wanted him.
Yes. So he was saying slick shit all through there, like you know what I'm saying, in the
like if he ever comes to practice.
Yeah, like just saying little slash shit, like you know what I'm saying. But the coach was like, he gonna get it together, like you know the coach was all behind him, all for it, like you know what I'm saying. Like I said, his feet. That shouldn't have made news. Like you know what I'm saying. Like that shouldn't have made news.
That's them trying to smear him.
Period. His helmet situation, I feel like that wasn't news. Like you
it should have made news too, because he was trying to do the arbitration with the thing. So that would have made news, but not at the momentum, the magnitude that it was at. Like I feel like that wasn't even. I'm like, okay, like you know what I mean. Yeah.
So I just.
You think they was doing a smear campaign?
From the door, from the very beginning, and watching that Hard Knocks, you know, solidifies that for me. And like you know, whenever that last incident came out before, like right when he got released or whatever, they never showed what the GM did. Like, they just showed Antonio Brown reaction to what he did.
Oh, they shut up?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm just saying, like, the GM struck first. He went to social media saying, you know, this, we're going to do this and that and the third. So he did that. So Antonio reacted to that. That got blown out. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, here he go again. But why did he do that? Why did he react like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He didn't just wake up like, oh, well, you know what I mean? So I just think that if they're going to put something out there, they should have put everything out there.
I wonder, you think it was kind of like...
I was like, the GM is out of line too.
Right, so it was almost like... trying to give the people the perception that it is.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, he's angry.
He's angry. Yeah. He needs anger management. He's a brat.
He's definitely a brat.
He's this, that, and the third. When all of these, I mean, he might have a little.
No, not a little. Like big brat. He's spoiled, but he should be. He's the best receiver in the league.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Things come with that. So if LeBron want to cry, he could cry because it's LeBron. If AB want to cry, he can cry.
I feel like LeBron is the biggest crybaby in basketball. But that's a whole nother topic, and my husband would be mad.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say all that because we can have this debate. Well, we'll have this debate with basketball.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I want to get off of.
No, I was going to. Yeah. So, even speaking, I hate to keep bringing up different people's podcasts, but even on Brilliant Idiots, Andrew Schultz said this one time. Do y'all think that they need to start naming other things for things that are grouped in as rape? Because they're not all the same. Like how she was saying how somebody might come in with a black mask. That's totally different from somebody that you're familiar with, and something might happen where things didn't go.
Yeah, I think they do
like a degree, like
because there's levels to it.
There's
definitely levels to it, and I don't.
If he does get charged with something, he's going to be looked in the eyes as somebody who's like a real villain.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's another thing that got on my nerves about the whole Me Too movement. And I don't want to bash the Me Too movement because I think overall it is a good thing. But I don't. The thing that bothered me about it, and I feel like could be problematic, is if I'm at a party and a man grabs my butt, and it's something that could be considered sexual assault. It's an aggressive behavior that I didn't consent to, but I don't want them to equate that to rape because I know it's not. And I'm not going to be calling the police because somebody grabbed my butt at a party.
Now, Jeff Bezos grabbed your butt, would you? I'm like, he raped me. He raped me. Give me that Amazon money.
Okay, so that's deep right there because I look at it like that. But I mean, because if that was the case, every time we went to a party,
but that's true.
We would be on the phone like, oh, 911 they didn't touch my butt.
No,
like, you know what I mean?
Y'all laughing at that, but that is considered sexual assault. And guess what? That happened to me as a guy when I was younger, and I did feel violated.
Yeah, you do.
You
do
when
feel violated,
right?
Yes.
But being somebody touching you in an unwanted manner or grabbing you in an unwanted, it is not the same as somebody raping you.
Right.
So I don't want. In the Me Too movement, I felt like they was trying to like make it seem like it was the same thing, and it's not.
But
I wouldn't dare even because I know that there's several times where I've probably been touched or grabbed in a way that I would not dare.
But I'm not going to vote the Me Too movement for going to that extreme because it did bring an awareness to guys that this shit ain't cool. You know what I mean? So there's less touching and all that. There is less touching.
And there is, but also like think before you do some shit because shit's real now. So
but also another thing that I didn't like, and I know I keep saying it's a good thing, but there's certain things I didn't like. But I don't like how it seems like men are still not taken seriously. Like even with Terry Crews saying that man touched them no way. Like, listen, that is
that's not funny.
I'm trying to hear about Terry Crews.
That's a whole violation. It definitely did not get like the type of light that a lot of the other women who were coming forward.
I think that's the guy's fault though. It ain't the Me Too movement's fault. It ain't Terry Crews' fault. It's the guy's fault for not standing behind Terry Crews. the guys
you think men should have supported
Yeah,
him?
they should have been up in arms just like the women are.
And what about, because I'm sure that there's some women out there that's aggressive to men.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
definitely. That happened to me.
That gets laughed at.
But I was
telling
you,
like, you get a stalker.
Yeah, I definitely had a few stalkers to the point where I was like, I could see how women be going on human resources and saying that they uncomfortable working with people because I had to switch up my whole flow at work just so I wouldn't see the person.
Wow. And see, that's crazy because
like having anxiety going to work.
I gotta deal with this person today. I gotta do my job, and now I gotta be on the lookout for this person making me feel uncomfortable all day.
Sure.
Like that,
and then you're uncomfortable at the thought of even coming in contact with them, even if you don't.
Imagine me being a dude who could defend himself, feeling like that. Imagine me being a girl who can't defend herself. Or with a whole family out on them, but still getting harassed at work.
Right, because when you're in the workplace, your whole livelihood is riding on that, so you're in somewhat of a defenseless position. Like it's not like you're just at a club.
Yeah.
Your whole livelihood and your whole household is dependent on your income from this place.
It's like what happened on the Shy with Jerica and dude. Like I had to for her to keep coming to shoot those scenes with him being that close.
I cannot even imagine that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And why was that allowed to happen?
Exactly.
Like, you
I
know
still
what I'm
think
saying?
they don't talk about that.
Whenever it came out, they said that people knew.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So many.
Like, people knew. Like, you know what I'm saying? So there was witnesses, and see, that's a whole nother. Because there was witnesses that he
they
did
need to be under
shit.
fire.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I got to blame everybody for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And she really endured that through those scenes or whatever. Like, I don't
But look though,
you know what,
the exact same way you acted about Brittany Taylor, the people that like that dude off of the shot was acting towards that girl. She was getting the most hate, talking about why didn't you just quit working, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
because they was mad that he got his job taken from him. Just how you're mad about. So sometimes you gotta have an open mind about Brittany Taylor too.
Okay, so the only open mind that I had about Brittany is that she should have had all her shit together at this point because so many sisters and then came before you and shit happened to them, the same thing. Like, you should have had your shit together if ultimately your goal was to get a bag. Have your shit together.
But you know what? There's a point that I think I kind of like want to make, even between Brittany Taylor and the lady off the Shy. If for Black women, it's like we're kind of like silenced. You know what I mean? Or she is. Yeah. And you know, people kind of like maybe don't look at us like we can be victimized to a certain degree. You know what I mean? Or like.
What, white people act like that, or just people, period?
I feel like people, period. Even Black men and Black women.
I think what we take in our society as Black people serious ain't the same thing that's
I agree with that.
Serious in the real world. So I think as because a lot of us probably got molested or some form of sexual assaulted when we were kids. And a lot of times that's not even brought up as being serious.
Right.
So
right, and I think that when you have certain traumas as a child or a teenager, or even as I think it's surprising that even when you have the courage to even reveal that happened to you to one or two friends, you'll find that it probably
happened to them.
Yeah,
but it's just weird to the point where it's like we were saying, almost like it ain't normal, but it's like. You know people that happened to, so it's like
and that happened to me, and I'm all right. But you're really not. You should see a therapist.
But that's exactly what we said.
That's what I was saying. Like we need to teach our kids, especially our girls and our sons, for that matter. Like if you know, like because these are serious issues today. Like you know what I'm saying. Like one of my daughters was working at a very well-known place of business, and they had box cutters. And the box cutters had hood names. It was Shaniqua. Like they had names labeled on the box cutter. Yeah. Like, and it was all like, it was like Shaniqua, Tawanda, like, you know, on these box cutters. And she said that made her uncomfortable because why, first of all, are box cutters labeled and named and why these names? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if that makes you feel uncomfortable, say something.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And she did. She had, documented for the couple of months. They took it off. She went she went to her manager first. They laughed it off, like, blah, 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 like, it's not funny. Imagine, let me just throw in, she was the only brown girl working at this place, like, you know what I'm saying?
Was it Chick-fil-A?
No, it was not Chick-fil-A. It wasn't Chick-fil-A. And so, you know what I'm saying? So she went to the management. They laughed it off. They took the little box cutter names off or whatever. She went on vacation.
That's super racist. They laughed it off.
She went on vacation, came back from vacation. They was renamed.
Not with black names again.
With the black names again. So then she went to corporate. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they're like, that
manager should have got fired.
Period. Like, you know what I'm saying?
As soon as the corporate call came in, that manager.
She's just like, I don't need to work here. I don't need to be around you guys. But she put it on blast. Like, she had it documented. Like, blah, 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 blah. This is what happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have to deal with that. But if she was in a predicament where though she couldn't quit her job and just, you know what I'm saying? Like, walk away with it. I'm just like.
Yeah, she would have been going through hell.
I feel like that.
I feel like on a base level, I feel like that may be what's wrong in our community, where our young men and our young boys and our young women and young girls, we are made to feel like we don't matter and our feelings don't matter. And that's why I treat my daughter the way I treat her. Some people might think that I'm spoiling her, but I disagree. I feel like I'm setting the tone for the rest of her life with letting her know she matters and her feelings matter.
See, my biggest thing is, and I think it pertains to all situations. People got to speak up. Black people got to speak up. And even if it's, if they got to talk, even if it's to, it don't have to be a therapist, but even if it's to somebody older than you or somebody that's your peer, you need to talk, and there needs to be somebody who would take you serious.
And I felt like I didn't even come to that like realization, I don't think, until later on in life. But then I'm sitting up here like, hey, like, even if I don't matter to somebody else, I have to matter to me. And my feelings do matter.
Now, the thing, I think the thing is too, that I think people do talk. I think a lot of people don't know or have the common sense to know who to talk to. Because a lot of times you might talk to your best friend, but guess what? Your best friend is a jokester and he's not taking you serious.
That's true.
Or an idiot. Your friend's an idiot and they don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
And they're going to steer you down the wrong path.
Exactly. So
I always say that though to my kids, like if you don't feel right and something's making you uncomfortable, say something. Like I can say that my kids, they will say like, Mom, guess what happened? Blah blah. You know what I mean? So I'll be like, oh. Then I start asking questions, like, you know what I mean? So,
but a lot of parents aren't even like you to tell them to open up. A lot of parents just go through the motions. How was your day? Blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm getting dinner.
Man, my kids run it down.
You know what I mean?
They run it down.
There's also another factor, and that's why I kind of like coming up, I know with our generation, when we think about our parents probably really didn't pay us enough attention, or even if they did pay us attention, our feelings didn't really matter.
You know why? Because everybody was in survival mode.
That's what I was going to say. Everybody's in survival mode. If you working against this shutoff notice and trying to make sure your lights is still on tomorrow,
you ain't trying to hear shit.
No.
So I was watching Wu-Tang The Saga Continues.
That was deep.
Okay, so I was watching the one part, and dude said something real, like, it sums it up. I think RZA was talking about trying to build his business or whatever. Okay. And they was on the street, and dude laughed at him. He said, a business? He's like, you better sell this. He's like, we ain't trying to build a business, we trying to live. Like, basically, it's survival mode. Don't be talking about something that you could do 2 years down the line. We need to get this money right now, so sell this pack. And I think that's how a lot of black people act. Like, they don't think about the bigger picture things. But I know us as a community, we got to start putting centers and things in place to where the youth can go and be able to work on their crafts and things like that, to be able to not feel like they're alone.
And their mental stability. Like, you know what I'm saying? For them to be mentally capable to deal with these situations that occur on a daily basis. Like, I feel like we are not as equipped, and things just keep happening and just keep, tumbling. Like, a lot of kids don't even have the home foundation to even deal with those stresses. Like, I never really looked at it until I had kids of my own, that kids could be stressed out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
anxiety.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're a kid. What are they stressed out about? Like, I'm the one. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's real. Like,
but I think the thing that's different, and I guess we would call our kids somewhat privileged. Like, we dealt with trauma pretty much on a daily basis and didn't realize that that's what it was. Right. So you're in a continual state of stress, like, pretty much every day.
Every day, yes.
And you don't even realize what it is.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But I think what's important to me is, okay, I say my daughter's important to me. Your daughter's important to me too. So it's important to me that if I see anybody else's daughter or son, that you matter and you need to speak up for yourself and your feelings are valid.
Now, I got a question for you guys, because even with this conversation...
I'm sorry, because you don't know who's not getting that at home.
Right.
Is what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
No, I was thinking I feel like as a country... And I feel like that we probably would be better off segregated. I honestly think that.
And there's
I feel like
there's people who say who say that, even when it came to like Black Wall Street and stuff,
like
we were thriving like in communities where it was us and we supported each other. So I mean,
and they didn't like that, and they came in and took that away.
Yeah, exactly. But I just feel like our situations in life ain't the same situations for them. Yeah. So when we go into their schools and we learn the way they do, we can't relate to that because I'm not dealing with that on a day-to-day basis.
And please know, even our kids are treated differently once the teacher sees that you are an engaged, involved parent in their life and that you do care and that you're looking at their homework.
Yeah, because they're stereotyped.
But they will sit up there and treat your kid like they don't matter if you act like they don't matter. But once you up there and you're engaged and you're wondering what's going on, the teachers start treating your kid a little bit different.
Absolutely. I can attest to that.
But even when I was used to hire people at the last job I was with, the person I do the hiring process with, they would look down the resume. If they see a part of the city that they're from, they're like, oh, we're not going to hire them. Even before
I heard that
interview.
I heard they do that.
Yeah, but me being from where I'm from, that person didn't know. I flipped out. Like, yeah, right. Like, they're coming in for an interview. They're going to get an interview. Like, and then I told the big boss, like, look, I don't want to do any more interviews with this guy because he prejudges anybody that's from like a bad neighborhood.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
And those are things that we don't see, but it happens every day, all the time. We always joke about our kids' names. Like, the names. And my son always say, I know I'm going to get a job. My name is, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to look at my name like, oh, yeah, he's going to get an interview. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just on his name. Like, why?
Look, I took dude in the back, like, I got you hired. They ain't want to hire you.
You told him?
Yeah, I was like, so don't
That's
let me
what's
go
up,
down. I guarantee you for like the next 3 years, he's probably our best employee. Like,
that's what's up.
He needed that shot.
And he needed a job too.
Great job.
Yes.
And me and Ed, we're still cool to this day. So, yeah.
So that's why I think that, you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z taking his seat, where he took his seat at, they need more people who is
just planning in these. If we gonna play on their field,
no, please don't make me get on this round.
Well, listen, she's prejudging. Wait until you see the end product. Sometimes you don't want to. You don't want to see how the sausage is made, but wait.
But I think I'm looking at it from a different perspective because I don't really feel. I feel like the way the NFL is set up from an organizational standpoint, they're doing whatever they need to do to pacify us. We don't need pacifiers. I feel like I would rather see the NFL take a turn like we did the Negro Leagues, like we were talking about earlier. Y'all have the majority of your employees are black. I'm talking about as far as the
players.
Right. What would you do if most of them left.
Look, they were saying now with
And
the
started,
segregation.
because you have enough to
just
start
like-
your own league right now.
Just like with the
You really do.
segregation.
Y'all don't have to deal with this and this
Right.
type of treatment.
Right.
Just like the segregation with the
Okay, I
Negro
agree.
League. They said those Negro Leagues were so popular, they was filling up Yankee Stadium. Like, so they don't think that people won't come.
And so all I'm saying,
Still the
okay,
best athlete.
and
If
then
we supported our own like we should and we could, it's possible to happen because we see that they support their
People, but
own,
people,
right or
right.
wrong or indifferent. Like, you know what I'm saying?
right, and
like,
I feel like given to. What was that?
that did not sound good, and we was just talking about that. Before,
We were.
Really?
Before, so.
As far as what Jay-Z's doing, even like I don't even want to say, okay, in my mind I'm like, okay, this is just something for him to get more money. But even if we take that train of thought out of it, when you get money and you're giving it to different organizations to help youth in certain areas, like I feel like that we've been doing that type of thing and I'm putting a Band-Aid on it. We need something that's going to change things systemically for us.
So you saying he ain't gonna do it, or he's not the one to do it, or?
I need to see.
Okay, give him a chance.
I
Yeah.
need to see how you're going to be able to get laws changed and make
Laws
them
change?
Yeah, and make changes as far as systems are concerned, like educational systems. We know that when it comes to like redlining, educational systems, housing, elections, all of that stuff is impacted and it's not favorable as far as the Black community. So those are things that we need to combat. And we need an even playing field in this country. Period.
You ain't
You ain't gonna get it. We're not gonna get it.
Right,
I
so
can
that's
tell
what
you
I'm-
from the door.
that's
But
what
you
I'm
gotta
saying.
start
So-
somewhere. You gotta start small, and I feel like him being there is a start. Like, you know what I'm saying. And if he can't get the job done, being that he's there, the doors are open. Maybe somebody that's gonna come in behind him could see the bigger picture or a different picture. But being that he already opened the door, he's already there. That person behind him, it's easier for him to
But
come
I
in
was
and
just
do
thinking about
that.
somebody behind them. I think it gotta be like little plants. I think it gotta be like the Avengers almost. There gotta
Yeah,
be more
or
people
just-
to set up
yeah.
in different areas.
Because
that
I'm
they
gonna
was
tell you
trained
right
for.
now,
They
like
gotta be able to
even
overthrow these white owners.
Right.
I'm turned off by even the first couple of things. You're going to do this concert with Meek Mill, Meghan Trainor, then you're selling merch so that the proceeds could go to whatever. So you mean you took this position and now I'm going to have to pay for the money that you're giving to whatever.
But they said
you're
that,
giving it to.
no, but they said that
We done
was
gave
already.
enough sweat and blood equity in this country. I'm not giving.
But
them
somebody's trying to kill Jay-Z's name. Because they said all that, even when he was talking about all that merch and stuff, that interview and stuff was before he even got that position. But somebody just brought it up again right now, so it makes it look like he's using the position to make money. But that concert and all that was already set before he got the position with the NFL.
Okay.
And that's what they cleared that up because it made Jay-Z look like he was a
like,
slime. Remember we were talking about how they are with Beyonce and them, how they benefit from social justice and things like that. As soon as that interview came out, I was like, dang, she was right. But then the next day it came out that interview's old. It was like from like January or something like that.
That's why I'm like, I liked it when Jermaine Dupri said what he said because he was like,
somebody trying to smear Jay-Z.
That's what I was saying. They always show the reaction. Y'all don't. They don't put out there what caused that person or what made that person do what they do. They do that after the fact. Like,
don't y'all feel like as a community, if you're doing something this big, like trying to mend the relationship between the Black, I need to say this loosely, but between maybe the Black community and the NFL, when y'all had that press conference, don't you think he has a responsibility to us to give us an outline of what he's trying to do?
I think he's not the best person to explain it.
He does owe us that.
He does.
Jay-Z?
Yes.
He does, but I think he needs to stop talking about it and have like a PR person.
Yeah.
Because anything he says get chopped up and
Mr.
give you one little snippet,
like,
and maybe he don't know how to
just off
explain
with
it the
the
right
races.
way.
I agree.
He just need a PR person to explain it for us, and so everybody be on the same page. Because the little quotes he be saying be sounding crazy.
Oh, you know what? Real quick, and I know like we kind of like got way past football a little bit, but not really. What happened with Cam Newton? Is there something that happened with him recently?
No, he playing real bad right now.
He playing like a bum.
But because he just had his shoulder surgery, so they were saying it might take him to like week 6 to actually get back to real playing for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's playing terrible, and he dressed like the way he dressed. They get on the way he dressed.
I saw that
you can't
one
be
meme.
losing and dressing like that.
I saw
That's
that
what
one
they said.
meme. They said you look like the little Red Riding Hood, the wolf dressed like the grandma.
The person
Like, y'all lost, but you look good though. You look good.
they'll say like we owe it too because somebody's grandma's playing for her as a quarterback, and then they got the picture of him with that scarf on.
Oh goodness!
But it's funny how like we be laughing at stuff like that, but it's like that's like probably like real true fashion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That stuff he be having on probably cause cheese.
You know what? It's so funny because we're almost at our hour, but I know you guys were supposed to get into Snowfall.
Oh, okay, yeah, and I do gotta go. So,
Right.
I enjoyed my time here, and I will definitely be back if y'all want me to come back. I
want you to come back.
Wait, wasn't the Snowfall finale? Y'all don't want to talk about that briefly?
I didn't watch the finale. Look,
I
I watched like 15 minutes of it and cut it off.
Why?
Because of the alternate universe. I couldn't do that. The alternate world.
And it's. I want to talk about it.
Okay, so does it end back in the real world?
Yes.
Okay, because don't talk to me about the ending, because I don't know if Franklin is alive or not. I'm hoping he's alive.
He's not my friend on Facebook because I would have ruined it for him because I ruined it for.
Y'all not friends on Facebook?
We might be, but I don't really.
Yeah, I ruined it for a lot of my Facebook friends who didn't watch Snowfall.
But
you know what I'm saying? So,
do you agree Snowfall is the best thing on TV as far as the best black show on TV?
Yes.
I agree.
Good.
I think that and Queen Sugar is the best.
I never watched Queen Sugar.
Did you watch Queen Sugar yet?
Yeah.
I've never watched
why they about to have a battle of the light skin ladies.
I never watched it. Maybe I have to
that
catch up on that.
Oh yeah.
Snowfall
was other stuff that I like.
Snowfall was definitely good. I really could appreciate it because it was so relatable. So relatable, especially to people who is our age and maybe a little bit younger. Like, you know what I'm saying? We lived that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I know a Franklin.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like, I know an Officer Andre.
Yeah.
Like, I know a Leon.
Because
like,
all
you
that
know
stuff
what I mean?
was coming together.
Yeah,
wow.
You know, I seen Mel. I know Mel. Mel was related to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was so relatable on that level, which I think that made it so good for me. But the finale
made it so good. So it's over?
So that's the question. That's the question I had on my Facebook. I said, now that John Singleton is gone, is it over? Is somebody going to pick it up?
Well, it should be because there's a lot that's still going with the pilot.
What pilot?
I mean, not the pilot, the CIA agent that had the pilot and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the story from The American Made, the Tom Cruise dude.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's the.
I didn't watch that
That's
movie.
all that's still the same story.
Okay.
Like even the Al
movie.
Chapo stuff and all that stuff. Like when you watch those little stories and stuff like that, when they start first dealing with the CIA and stuff like that, that's all in Snowfall. That's what I'm saying. They give you all the angles of that.
So hopefully I can come back and talk about it because I feel like that last episode said so much. I feel like I don't want it without giving too much away because you didn't watch it.
I watched it all the way up until he got kicked out of college, and then he was sitting with Mel on the porch. I was like, this is weird. I'm like,
so was my husband, but when I was watching it, I knew from the beginning that Frank was alive only because of the music. So if you go back and you listen from the music from the very beginning and the words and the music, you'll know that Franklin is alive. Like you'll know that Franklin is alive and where they're going and why they did the things that they did. I feel like the little camera dude, I don't know if you got that far, but the little camera dude that was filming him, like I felt like that was an ode to John Singleton. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in there, like I feel like that last episode was just like so much. Like watch that episode. It is kind of.
Does he like the little white girl now?
It is kind of weird where he goes through that part, and I kept saying to my husband, I said he's in a coma.
Yeah, that's what.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I that's what I thought he was in a coma.
And, you know, if we've never been there, we don't know.
Yeah,
but we heard people who say like, I died.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I seen X, Y, and Z or whatever. I felt like that was what Franklin was going through.
Yeah,
and that, you know what I'm saying?
And he still had the people in there, like the CIA dude was the teacher.
Yes. So I feel like, you know, but watching it, I kept saying to my husband, like, he's alive. He was like, how do you know? And I'm like, the music. Like, did you just hear what the, like, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta
like
pick up on the words of the song.
If you pick up on the words, I was like, he's alive. And
see, somebody's trash is another person's treasure. And maybe I need to go over it again. It's like throwing the lottery ticket away. You thought it was a loser and it was
really a winner.
So I gotta go back and see it because that show let me down. I'm like, I love this show so much. It was my favorite show. Why did they have this bullshit in there?
Well, last week, you know, when Franklin got shot, I was just like, like I was devastated. Like,
but just imagine the episode Franklin got shot and the episode right before there. Those might have been the two best episodes of a series I've seen. Period. Because when he shot Andre, I could not believe it.
You didn't see what happened with Officer Andre in this season. You have to watch that because then you're gonna be really like Franklin.
What in the alternate universe?
No, I feel like they were showing what.
So Andre's in that season finale.
Yes.
Okay.
And I also feel like that they was letting us see what happened beforehand, because when Snowfall first started, we just seen, like, you know what I'm saying, like we just seen like Franklin about to get the money, like, you know what I'm saying, but that last episode put everything
like
what
happened in college, how he got kicked out.
Why he became the man, like, you know what I'm saying, like why he became the person that he was ultimately.
Is Harvey on the alternate universe one? Harvey, the dude that put Franklin on.
No.
Okay.
No.
Is he that girl?
Who's that girl?
The little white girl. Who's the little?
Maybe
I thought that's supposed to be Harvey. I don't know why I was thinking that's supposed to be Harvey because that's the first person he met.
I think that I don't know what her role was.
Did she play? When he got kicked out of school? She was done. She was done.
She was done. So like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. For as I couldn't put in a connection.
Yeah,
like to her. Other than him, I felt like she was just there to let him get in contact with how he was acting, like, because she was like, you're so quick to anger, like, what, like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like she put that in perspective for him, or just made him see it or realize it. Like, you know what I'm saying, that he had that effect on
about
people.
To go to the CIA.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that may be why she was there. But I don't know. I think Snowfall. I think John Singleton did a hell of a job with that, as with anything that he ever touched. But it was really, it was really good. It was really good. So I hope it's not over. But like sometimes whenever somebody else try to take over, it's just not the same.
Yeah. And that's why that's why I was thinking like for this.
So I would hate for that to happen. So if it's gonna end, just let it go.
I was like, for this ending, John Singleton must have been dead because this.
Like, and I just want to touch on Power too before we skip out. You know what I'm saying? With this being like, with us knowing that this is the last season of that, like my feelings is hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking at everything like...
Did you watch our Power reviews on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm just like...
I could be a writer on Power.
Like, so I could be a writer on Power. I don't know if I'm already over it because I know that this is the last season, but
it really ain't the last season,
though. The 50's been saying, okay, Power Book 2 does start 48 hours after.
So I'm just like, get on with it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas though... I'm going to jump to, like, The Sopranos. Like, you know what I'm saying? Had James Gandolfini not passed away, I would have been looking forward to, you know what I'm saying?
Some type of prequel,
something, you know what I'm saying, to come after that, because it was that good.
But
like, you know
I
can't
say that, I was disappointed with episode 1 and episode 2. Episode 3, I can say I didn't anticipate the people who got killed. I didn't anticipate that happening like that.
Yes.
So and
so,
for it to jump off on
episode 3
episode
is terrible too. It's bad writing, but it's supposed to be. I think at this point, I think it's just supposed to be our soap opera.
Like it's
It's
just
our
yeah,
soap
because
opera.
that's why I said like now that we're in the math frame, knowing that this is it, they're just like here.
Yeah, like everybody from the D, everybody
That's
from
what
the
they did with
DEA.
Game of Thrones.
That's a whole nother topic. I ain't even got time for that.
But one thing I can say with this season, I was surprised that they just had things like jump off on episode 3, because normally it's like
What jumped off?
5-6 episodes
What jumped off?
in with the surprise people getting killed. Like I didn't expect them to kill Donovan, and I didn't expect them to kill Alicia Jimenez. I didn't think that was going to go down like that.
Jimenez, she wasn't around for a while. I knew she was gonna die since she made a cameo appearance.
Yeah, but I didn't
think
know
Donovan was
everything
gonna die.
That was shocking.
But I'm never surprised. The only time I'm surprised is if one of the main characters died. Like for some reason, the bad guy's never down there. The core is still together.
I need
Somebody
Dre to
from
die.
the door.
I
the
need
core
Dre to
should have
die,
died.
and soon.
Like you mean like Ghost or Tommy?
Yeah, like y'all got two mass murderers, this best friends, and they're also the drug dealers, like,
Psychopaths.
and they're killing everybody in the
Psychopaths.
DEA.
Ghost
Like
is a psychopath.
that whole DEA, they would have had the government been coming in.
And
My whole DEA's gone. Like everybody died from that.
And although I think that
And why is Sack still in the case?
I think he's gonna be the next one to go, but I don't know.
Hopefully,
Sack is gonna be the one to take him down.
But
My boy.
for some reason, I mean, I do want Dre to die, but for some reason, he may not, because I feel like he is going to be the Kanan to Tariq's ghost.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
I'm
you know
just
what I
saying.
mean?
He's gonna be booked too. He's gonna be the bad guy, and I think he's gonna be the reason why Ghost and Tommy get out of here, and Tariq is gonna hate Dre.
I feel like they should have never got rid of Kanan.
They shouldn't.
They
shouldn't have. And that's a shame. When 50 Cent's one of the best actors on the show.
He was, yeah.
He was so more. I don't know. I feel like he was more relatable.
Because you know older people to do that with little kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it came in. Yes, we all do. So yeah.
So who is Mary J. Blige supposed to be playing in book 2?
I don't know. But I see that they picked her up. So I don't know. I'm curious to see. Like I'm curious to see. You know that thing that 50 did, that 50 comedy thing that he had going on a couple of years. That shit was a flop. So I just hope that this won't be, that, because we're so.
That 50
You know
Central.
what I'm saying? Yeah, that 50 Central. Like
But
that.
The Oath is good, but it's just on crackle. The Oath is real good. You gotta watch that.
I didn't watch that, but I'm just saying.
No,
like,
you
I felt
gotta
like
watch
it was like
it's about the dirty cops.
You know what happened
in California? That's real good. It's about
and
like
that's a series.
Yeah, it's like series too.
Okay,
I don't know if you know. I don't know if you watched True Blood back in the day, but that dude Jason Stackhouse. He's like one of the main actors.
I did watch. I did watch True Blood.
Yeah, that show is good. I think there's 2 seasons or 3.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to check it out too.
Checking out stuff.
Because it's
fall, so it's binge watch.
Binge watch right now.
Types of,
before other things start, I still want to wait. I mean, did they give a date on Insecure yet?
No, Insecure.
I never watched.
You never watched Insecure. Oh my goodness. Matter of fact, I
need and your husband on it. Your husband will love it too.
Maybe we should commit. I don't know if you can commit to this, but because Insecures come on Sunday though,
and that's
right?
what the
I was gonna say maybe
maybe
you can if you can, because the episodes are only a half hour.
That's
so if you want to binge them and get caught up. Maybe do you want to do Insecure reviews?
I really don't. We can't be doing 5 reviews and like I got a job. Like I can't.
I do
watch
too.
all of that stuff. Yeah,
we all do.
It's like even the
but you'll love
or I guess Power. Because what if we gonna do the book 2 Power reviews? If we don't do that, we could do Insecure review. But I'm not doing 3.
I'd rather do Power.
Okay.
But you need to watch it because we can still talk about it on the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
But Queen Sugar is good.
Queen
Sugar is
and you have to watch it with your husband. Y'all will die.
We watch everything together mostly. So, yeah.
Queen Sugar is slow, so you might not. It might. Well,
I started out watching it, and it just like the first season, and I was just like,
it's slow, but it's well written. Ava DuVernay is a great writer.
Well, and I told you with Queen Sugar was going on with Nova writing that book is kind of like similar to how you was feeling with a certain member of our family writing a book.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
That's yeah, I feel that way too. So.
Yeah. Yes.
I was like, art imitating life.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
Yes.
But I guess that's another day, another story.
Yes.
Well, we're at what? Bucko.
An hour 9.
Oh, okay.
Bucko.
Well, I appreciate y'all.
We enjoyed. This was a great conversation.
It was. You know, the great conversations always feel like it's 2 minutes long.
Yes,
it does.
We could go on and on and on.
Yeah, because we could definitely talk about snowfall.
I'll be back. So just let me know, and I'll come back. Is we making this a thing? We can make it a thing, or I could come back in a few weeks.
We can make it a thing.
Like it's up to y'all. But you know, my schedule with these kids and sports.
And she's a football.
Oh,
mom.
sports.
Football mom.
Where you at right now?
Coach's wife.
You have a night today?
Yes, I
another
didn't
guy?
miss it. Yeah, I probably didn't miss it. He had a game, and
well, tell him don't be too bad because we will be putting this out, and
yes,
he will be able to watch it in
and I told
a
him,
day or two.
And I
Give him
told
a shout out.
Hey, babe. Coach Dupree for the Duquesne Dukes, my hometown. They've been running down on the city. They've been running down. So yeah, I missed today's game, but I told him you've been trying to get me up here for weeks, even before football season started. So I was like, I cannot not keep going. Like I'm going.
Yes.
So, yeah. And I was like, and the topic is AB, so I'm there.
Yes.
So yeah.
Well, I know I'm an AB fan. You're an AB fan. I hope everything gets on track.
And I'm not a Ben Roethlisberger fan. I'm a Steeler fan.
I'm not a Steeler fan at all.
That. Okay.
I'm not a Steeler fan at all. I'm a Chiefs fan and a Redskins fan.
Okay.
But I know good football when I see good football.
And you know what?
I think Antonio Brown's the best receiver.
Although I've taken the stance of not watching football, still I am a Steeler fan, and I do wish the best.
And I think that people be having me understood because I am a Steeler fan. I'm a football fan, but I'm a player fan. Like you know what I'm saying? So,
I'm a fan of LeBron James.
You know what I mean? So like it's a different. Like I'm a Steeler fan. Like you know what I'm saying?
But you know good.
I know good when I see good, and they fucking up. I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
I think people like you can't talk shit. I'm talking the most shit because they look like trash.
But look though,
like,
a lot of people ask me like, why do I be going to all these Steeler games and stuff? I'm like, I could just sit back. And if they doing bad, the Steelers fans will talk trash for me. Like they're like, Ben stinks.
Yeah, like
I'm like, I'm gonna sit back and watch
That's me. So
Ben stinks. I'm like, okay, yup.
I think he had the potential to be great, and I blame Ben. He's a fucking bum. He's been a bum.
I ain't gonna say he's a bum. Now I ain't gonna go that far.
To me, but okay.
Look, the reason why,
but I feel like he's a bum.
Now, whether it was the talent making him not look like a bum, and he really is a bum, that might be true. But what he gave to the game, he can't say he's a bum.
Tell me again what he gave to the game.
He gave y'all 2 Super Bowls, right?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Like that right there, you know what I mean?
Okay. So
and I ain't gonna say because some of those do be looking like Hail Marys, tossing straight up and then, but it worked. Some of those plays work.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
I ain't saying it was him. Like I'm not, but when you the quarterback of a team and you got 2 Super Bowls, right?
That's what they said. I think so. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Do y'all think he's a good quarterback, or do you think he has players around him to make him
better? It's been so long, I can't really recall. But that's
Tomlin too, though.
Yeah.
This is my last question.
Tomlin only got 1 Super Bowl.
Okay.
Last question.
And that was with Coward's players.
Last question. Do you think Ben is that good, or he just has great players around him that make him look good?
Look, I will say this. I think quarterbacks are just that bad. I think there's only a handful of quarterbacks that you can probably start a team with and feel comfortable winning with. Mm-hmm. And after those, the drop-off is real far now.
Okay.
So I feel like Big Ben is teetering on that 6-7 mark because he's not in that top 5. Like
so everybody agrees that Brady's number one.
Yeah, Drew Brees, Brady, like all of those quarterbacks, Mahomes, Rodgers, those quarterbacks, like they're the best in the league. Mm-hmm. But after that, like the Cam Newtons and the Ben Roethlisbergers, it start getting a little shaky, and then after that, it just sucked. That's why people was like, "Come on now, Kaepernick could get a job." Because there's quarterbacks starting for teams that shouldn't even be playing.
I agree with that. I just think that he had a lot of talent around him that he could have utilized, and they were there to be utilized, and he did not
But
he did not fulfill that. A time after time.
But that is tumbling. That's not Roethlisberger. Because you have these tools in your toolbox. There's 1,000 tools that's great. All these people's making the Pro Bowls. All these people want to be in the Hall of Fame. And you can't win a Super Bowl with them?
And I think that is because I don't feel like
You
Tomlin holds as much weight as we think he does. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I'll say that.
Like, I feel like that is...
His hands might be tapped behind his back.
I feel like that's a cause for that.
I'll say
that. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately...
Now, do you think that they should have let him be the GM too?
Who?
Tomlin, the coach and the GM? Because that dude, Kevin Colbert, basically like runs the team because brings the players in.
Right. I don't know. I have to sleep on that. I mean, like, I would have to sleep on that because, again, like, if you feel like, I just feel like if you're in those positions and you know what you bring to the table, I feel like you should be full force with that.
But
like,
it's never the offense, though, too. When are they going to get some great cornerbacks? That secondary was terrible. All those years when they was had all the players, it was only Troy Polamalu in that secondary.
Right.
Everybody else was stinking up the place.
Yeah, they was trash. You're right.
I can't even remember who that one quarterback was in China for the Willie Gay. What's that Gay? Willie Gay?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not a Ben fan, but I don't think that he's up there. Like, they put him up there, and I don't feel like he...
Well, is he going to the Hall of Fame?
I mean, he probably will because people keep saying that he's the Hall of Fame material. He got 2 Super Bowls or whatever. But his stats, I'm a stat person.
His stats are good.
What year?
His overall stats for career. Big Ben got one.
I mean, because I'm talking about last year.
See, you can't do that. See, that's the Steelers fan coming out of you. That's the Steelers. Y'all are spoiled.
We need somebody that's going to produce every single year.
Listen, y'all need a couple 2 and 14 seasons to humble y'all. Because y'all too spoiled. Y'all too spoiled. If y'all don't make the playoffs one year, y'all think y'all got the worst.
Team, though. I want them to be great. I want them to have greatness. I want all the players to be great. So if I feel like I need to hold Ben to a standard up here, you get paid all of the many millions, and Le'Veon couldn't get his money because they gave it to you. You should produce.
But that ain't why Le'Veon didn't get his money, though. They didn't give Le'Veon his money because he's a running back.
And I feel like they didn't give nobody on the team the money because they gave it to Ben. But that's just my personal opinion. But they gave AB the bat. I didn't feel like...
They gave AB the bat.
They did. But I didn't feel like, and this is my personal opinion, that Le'Veon deserved all that money because he was always fucking hurt.
I think he did.
But he was always fucking hurt.
Did we
ever get a full season with him not being the fuck
You know why? Because he touched the ball 30 times a game. There's no reason why if I'm running the ball 20 times, I should get 10 targets in the like I'm a receiver.
Who did you blame that on, the quarterback or the coach?
The coach.
Oh my goodness.
But it was Todd Haley at the time. I blame it on Todd Haley because
I blame the quarterback.
Why?
Why couldn't you get him the ball?
He was getting the ball 30 times, and the game is crazy. If I rush the ball 20 times, there's no reason why I should get 10 passes too. That's 30 times in one game. Imagine doing that over 16 games.
In his defense, he was always banged up because he was
he's probably like one of the most used players. If you look at his usage rate, he's probably the most used player in the NFL other than like that dude Alvin Kamara for the Saints. Like Bell's used like a running back and a receiver. That's why I never was complaining about him saying he needs money more than what a regular running back. Yeah, because he catches like
deserved it.
I believe he catches like 80 passes a year.
And maybe that's just the superficial me looking at
that.
Like,
it is.
You know what I'm saying?
No, because you're a Steeler fan and you know you want all cylinders running when it's playoff time. You like damn, Bell out again?
Like a well-oiled machine. Like I needed to go. Like,
but I wish we always had conversations because I would always tell my friends like he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt. He get used too much.
Yeah. Yes.
He get used too much.
Okay. All right.
All right, well, now we're at an hour and 18.
Okay.
But I love the conversation. It was awesome. So thanks, everybody, for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And for everybody who's listening to the audio, thank you for listening. This is the O.P.O.V podcast. Bye.